So, the title of this video is Kenny Pickett is not living up to the standard of Ben Roethlisberger, and why I won't count out the Pittsburgh Steelers because let's be honest, we're sitting at 4-3 right now. I'm sure there's the doom and gloom starting to come back. There will definitely be a ton of doom and gloom if we lose this Thursday night game to the Tennessee Titans, a team that the Pittsburgh Steelers should beat. A team that pretty much we need to just contain Derrick Henry, not let Will Levis throw 4 touchdowns, which he did his first game, rookie start as a quarterback in NFL. So this is a quarterback who got a lot of hype, who fell in the Tennessee Titans' lap, who needed a quarterback to back up Tannehill and, be a little bit of competition to Tannehill because Tannehill's not been good. And now we got the defense to pretty much shut these quarterbacks down, and we need an offense, and we need Kenny Pickett to step up, and we need Kenny Pickett to score touchdowns, and we need Kenny Pickett to help this team win games, period, point blank. That's why he was drafted in the first round. He's a first pick in the draft, and he needs to play better. I don't care about the offensive line. Desmond Ritter's playing better. Sam Howell's playing better. Baker Mayfield's playing better. There's so many quarterbacks that are playing better than Kenny Pickett right now. When they're not in good situations neither, but they're still playing better than Kenny Pickett. And Kenny Pickett was drafted ahead of Brock Purdy. Yeah, Brock Purdy is in a great system, so we'll give Brock Purdy that. But all these quarterbacks, Sam Howell, Desmond Ridder, Brock Purdy, were all drafted in the same class as Kenny Pickett, or playing better than Kenny Pickett. So Kenny Pickett's got to be better, and it's time to say it. It's time to say that Kenny Pickett's not living up to the standard. Everybody wants to talk about the standard. The standard. Tomlin doesn't live up to the Chuck Noll standard. Well, Kenny Pickett is not living up to the Ben Roethlisberger standard right now, especially on the field. Maybe off the field, I think he's a good leader. He goes out there, takes the blame. He's a good leader off the field. That's why he got to see, but you got to see, and you got to start to be a leader on the field. That's what I really don't see in this offense. You have alpha dogs on defense, Mika Fitzpatrick, TJ Watt, mainly TJ Watt, and everybody just falls in line behind TJ. Alex Highsmith tries to be and mirror TJ Watt, and he is almost as good, and he's great in his own right. He's no TJ Watt, but he tries to mirror that and idolize that and live up to that standard of TJ Watt, and the rest of the defense falls in line, and the defense makes insane plays, and has been making insane plays, and is basically the reason we've won 4 games this year. And if we've at least got mediocre play out of our quarterback, at least mediocre play out of our offense, at least top 20 play out of our offense and top 20 play out of our quarterback, we would be probably 5-1, 5-2, maybe 6-1. We would have a better record than 4-3. We would at least have one more win. I'd say we'd at least be 5-2 if we was getting a mediocre offense. Like Houston got us, San Fran got us. Okay. We could have beat Jacksonville if our offense could actually did something and didn't go out there and turn it. I mean, we forced 3 turnovers. You got to think in a game to where you force 3 turnovers, you're going to win that game. You think you're going to win that game, and you should win that game. So people are saying if Kenny Pickett played in that game, we would have won, and Mitchell Trubisky's the reason we lost. Mitchell Trubisky came in there and had to throw it and sling it and gun it down the field in the fourth quarter with no time left, and he threw interceptions because we were playing from behind, because of Kenny Pickett, because of the lack of production on offense. He was the highest graded player per PFF, blah, blah, blah. Give me a break, bro. Kenny Pickett was not playing good, all right? He was not playing good in that game. There was absolutely no offense. They were terrible on third down. His completion percentage is terrible. His passing touchdowns are terrible. His touchdown to interception ratio is terrible. More interceptions than touchdowns. It's not good. He's had some fourth quarter comebacks. Okay, I'll give him that. But he's not living up to Ben Roethlisberger's standard. Maybe it wasn't great statistically, but he would still win games. The first season, his rookie season, he went 15-1. Second year, he went on to win a Super Bowl. And it gets to the point of why I will never stop believing in the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I believe, and I'm not ready to give up and say Kenny Pickett's a bust. But it's time to start calling it out. It's time to start saying it is for what it is. Yeah, this Matt Canada is not good, but Kenny Pickett is not playing good. Kenny Pickett has happy feet in the pocket. Our offensive line is getting a bad grade per PFF, but Kenny Pickett is holding on to the ball too long. Kenny Pickett is not going through his progressions. Kenny Pickett is not being able to read a defense before the snap and making adjustments at the line of scrimmage. Can't do any of that stuff like Ben Roethlisberger could do, and it really doesn't seem like he has the confidence or the moxie to do that type of stuff at the line. He's done it sometimes, but it seems like he's not doing it a lot. It seems like the line stacked many times to where he could check out of it and throw the ball. The defense is basically daring this team to throw the ball, and they can't throw the ball really or do anything. So in those situations on first down, if it's a run and you see the defense is stacking the box, Kenny, you got to check out of it, and you got to throw the ball. You got to check out of it. You got to make an adjustment at the line of scrimmage, and that's what a quarterback has to do. Above all else, you got to be the smartest player on the field. You got to be the coach on the field. You got to be the eyes and the ears on field. And he's not really doing that stuff. And he's trying to have like these intangibles like Ben Roethlisberger, hold on to the ball. You put on 15 pounds. Yeah, you're putting in the work. You're putting in the work in the film room. That's really where you need to keep putting the work in, is the film room, to read these defenses, to get the ball out quick, to know where you're going to go with the ball before you even get rid of the ball and throw the ball. You should have an idea and know where you're going with the ball. And if it ain't there, you can snap right out of it, and there's your second or third read. Boom, bang, pow, boom. You're going to be on time, on rhythm, and we're not on time, on rhythm, and it starts at the quarterback position to keep the offense on time and on rhythm, and that's what he can't do. Ben didn't go out there and throw it 50 times a game. He had a running game. He worked everybody in. He spread the ball around and manufactured drives, distributing it little by little. Jeremy Tooman here, Dan Kreider here, a little Jerome Bettis there, a little Willie Parker there, a few to Hines, a couple to Plexico. Eventually, Plexico breaks one deep, and you get him deep. And then, once it all starts clicking, the offense, the defense, and the special teams, this team can be dangerous. But we have absolutely no offense whatsoever. So once this offense actually starts to click and has an identity, there is no identity on offense. There is no identity. We need to start building an identity. Who is the offense? There's no leader. At least the identity is like, Ben Roethlisberger is going to go out there and give you a hell of a game and keep you in the game and have a chance to bring you back and drive you down the field at any time, given time of the game. And you still have that defense to back them up. And we don't got no running game. We don't got no nothing. We don't got no offensive line. We don't got nothing. George Pickens steps up one game and then disappears the next game after he was talking all that big shit before Jacksonville. So it's not all on Kenny Pickett. I understand why people are still defending Pickett, and I'm not saying he's a bust, but he has not been living up to the standard, and he was drafted first overall. He's got the C on his uniform. People made such a big deal about Najee losing the C, and that means Jaylen Warren somehow is going to subvert him as their running back. When it's clear as day, you can't argue it. Najee Harris is a better pure runner of the football. Jaylen has a different skill set, and he's better at certain things, yes, and you got to utilize that too. But Najee is a better runner of the football than Jaylen Warren, and he needs to get his touches and his carries in the game. And he has been lacking in production, and the offensive line has a lot to do with his lack of production, and Kenny Pickett being off time, off rhythm, not being able to complete when he's called the pass, and just putting people in rhythm and on time. So again, Ben didn't play great that second year. We needed to win 6 or 7 games on the road to 2005 Super Bowl. We had to win 6 or 7 just to basically make it into the playoffs to get a wild card spot. Got the wild card spot. Got snuck into the playoffs. Had to go win 3 on the road. We went into the jungle, beats Carson Palmer and the Cincinnati Bengals, Ocho Cinco, TJ Hushmanzada, Chris Henry, Rudy Johnson, a stacked offensive line and a solid defense that year. And Carson Palmer was playing basically as one of the best quarterbacks in the league, was just dicing it, was a first-round pick out of USC. He was the man, and we beat them. They won the division that year. Then went on to Indianapolis to play Tony Dungy and the Peyton Manning Colts in Indianapolis, in the Dome, in Peyton's house, in Dungy's house. Jeff Saturday, Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne, Edgerrin James, Bob Sanders, Dwight Freeney, and who's that other? Robert Mathis. We beat that team. Boop. Then went on to take on Jake Plummer and the Jake Plummer and the Denver Broncos, which had a stacked defense with Champ Bailey, John Lynch, some great linebackers, some great defensive linemen. Their offense was at least good. That's what our offense needs to be. We went into their house in Denver, in Mile High, in that atmosphere, hard to breathe, and we took the breath right out of them and went on to go to Detroit, Jerome Bettis' hometown, to win the Super Bowl so he can retire. So, no, I'll never stop believing in the Pittsburgh Steelers and never going to say we don't have a chance. And I'm not saying we need to give up or say Kenny Pickett's a bust right now or give up on him. But he's got to play better. He's got to be the leader. He is the leader. And one thing I'll give him is he takes ownership of it, unlike Ben Roethlisberger. So I'll give him credit that right now he's got that on Ben Roethlisberger. The off-the-field stuff he has Ben Roethlisberger beaten. The work ethic, the time that he's putting in. And now it's time for you to step up. It's time to make this shit click. It's time to fucking back this defense up, Kenny Pickett, and go out there and do something. Pick up some first downs. Quit holding on to the ball too goddamn long. Get rid of it. Manufacture drives. Let your playmakers make plays and fucking get something going on offense so we can win a lot of these winnable games we got coming up. Get into the fucking playoffs and do something this year like we did the year Ben went on to win the Super Bowl. So anything can happen. Cam's coming back. Fryermuth's coming back. This team's going to start getting healthy, and you need to start playing better. And it starts and stops with the quarterback position above all else on offense, and he's got to be better. So I'm going to end this video now. Perfect timing, 11 minutes and 42 seconds. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button. Here we go, Steelers. Let's get this win over Tennessee. Go to 5-3. And got a lot of easy, winnable games left on the schedule and go from there and see where we're at. Because this division, we got a lot of division games left, and these teams got some tough games left on the schedule. So Cincinnati got a huge win over the 49ers. So they're hot, and we still got to play them twice. So let's go, Steelers. We got to get this win over the 3-4 Tennessee Titans. No joke. Will Levis. This is Will Levis now we're playing. A guy who threw 4 touchdowns, more touchdown passes than Kenny Pickett's ever thrown in his career. First game of his career as a rookie. Will Levis threw more touchdowns. Kenny's had 20 starts now. This ain't just 2 or 3 bad games. This is a lot of below average, mediocre play from the quarterback position, and it's got to get better.